Hey, what's up, everybody? Your boy JC. Everyday Thoughts is in the building. Everybody gather around. How's everybody doing tonight? Tonight's topic is I don't support the military over Memorial Day with my co-host, Mr. K2101. Everybody gather around. Should be a good one. What's going on, Melanie? What's going
What's
on,
up,
man?
brother? What's going
Good,
on, man?
brother. How you doing?
I'm
Good.
good. How was work, man? How was work? Huh?
Work is work.
Working hard on that railroad, boy.
Yeah,
Working
tired as
hard on
hell,
that
but
railroad there, son.
yeah, what's going on with you, though, man?
Man, I'm good, man. I'm good, man. Just getting ready to do dinner and a movie. You know what I'm saying? I figured I'd hop on there with my brother JC and talk about this hot topic. Ladies and gentlemen, if y'all coming in right now, y'all can see this. I just need y'all to share off the bat. Y'all know what it's gonna be. Y'all already know when I get with JC what time it is. Huh? Y'all know what time it is.
So yeah, introduce yourself to everybody and everything.
Ladies and
Everybody
gentlemen,
for
if you
coming
don't know
in.
who it is, it's Mario Cochran. I got a new name, man, and I'm gonna drop that on you soon, brother. I'm working on some things. So it's Mario Cochran. You can catch me on all social media platforms. I love to have the hard conversation. If you guys ever want to reach out to me, feel free to reach out to me. Friend request, inbox, whatever it is. But make sure that you always, if you have something to say and you need somebody that's gonna drop some common sense, hit me up.
All right. So tonight's topic is, I don't support the military or Veteran Day or no, Memorial Day. So what was your thoughts about that? What's going on
Man,
there?
I say before I get into this, man, because what I'm saying, I do believe that this is going to be a big topic for a lot of people. So I want to know. I don't think you have a military background, right?
No.
So let me ask you something. What's your thoughts on Veterans and Memorial Day? How does that correlate? Do you care? You don't care? Like, what do you feel about it?
I mean, me personally, I do have great respect for those who sacrifice their lives. I do go out there and fight for our country, so I do have respect. And I do respect anybody that's been in the Navy, Army, Air Force, anything. So I do give y'all the most utmost respect and thank you.
That's cool. That's cool, man. The reason why I wanted to talk about this is because something is happening here in Texas, Killeen, Texas, that to me kind of threw me for a loop. And for those people that live in the Texas area, Central Texas area, you probably already heard about it on the news. But I was just so flabbergasted, you know what I'm saying, and disappointed at the fact that this happened. There is a shelter here that supports local veterans that is being closed or that has closed. I'm still working out the details on that, but from my understanding, it's temporary based on some internal problems. Now, here's my thing. As Memorial Day comes up on Monday, we do a lot to say thank you for those that have served and that have paid the ultimate sacrifice in regards to their life. And we do these parades, we have all of these grand gestures. And it was so crazy to me at the fact that the people that are dead and gone, we're remembering, but the people that served and sacrificed that's still here, we don't care about. This shelter is being closed outside of the biggest army installation in the United States of America. Thousands of people are on this installation. There are thousands of people that have knowledge, education, that have resources. And for some reason, we're closing this shelter with these veterans in it. If that doesn't speak volumes, and the reason why I feel like if you're a veteran, this should ding you, this should wake you up, because here's the thing. What's to stop somebody from saying, you know what, those benefits that you feel like you deserve, we're going to stop that. Because you don't care about the money going towards the shelters anyway. So we're going to stop another benefit that you have. At what point in time do we speak up? And I think that's what was so important about tonight's topic, is the fact that veterans need to make sure that hey, we need to make sure that we look out for one another. It's not just about remembering those who have sacrificed and paid the ultimate price, but those who have sacrificed and still living and going through hardship. JC, what you think about that?
No, yeah, you're right about that. I mean, it said they had some kind of shelters closing off. The veterans that need to be respected, not just on certain days. Same thing with Mother's Day and Father's Day. They need to be celebrated daily. One thing I did notice is that a lot of veterans do get celebrated, especially at sporting events, concerts. So, what's your whole take about the whole, Pledge of Allegiance, though? You stand up for the flag or what? How important is the flag to you?
So here's the thing, there's
'Cause I know there was
there's
some
a
controversy with, the whole Kaepernick situation.
yeah, definitely, definitely. My thing about it is, man, being a part of the armed forces for 20 years, being a retired veteran, I got a chance to be around some phenomenal people of all race, colors, ethnicity, all of that. And I can't rightfully sit here and say that me presently knowing that this man to my left and right, this woman to my left and right is of a different color, that there were no people before me. There will be no people after me. So to me, the flag doesn't represent a whole lot of hardship. Now, is there a concern in reference to some of the things that's happening here in America, in reference to police brutality, in reference to the economic situation, in regards to these areas where it seems like black people kind of get, punched in the gut a lot, and they're allowed to continue? Because here's the thing, I think that we have one of the biggest military forces in the world, and if we wanted to clean up an area, we could clean up an area. We can get Tyrone and little TT. We can get them out the way. But for some reason, that's allowed. You understand what I'm saying? Most black people don't own no planes. We don't own no corporations, and we damn sure don't own no cocaine factories. So in order to let those drugs go into those inner cities, there's somebody higher up. There's someone that doesn't look like me that's allowing that to happen, and there's a reason for that. And but I feel like, do we have some issues in the United States of America? You damn right we do. You damn right we do. And that's why we have to be cognizant of what's going on in our communities. But the first thing about it is, I think that a lot of people, a lot of civilians, they have issues with veterans. They say, hey, look, you chose that job. No one told you to join the army and leave your family and go over there and fight. And that's a lot of the pushback that I get a lot of times when I have those talks, that people say, you know what, I didn't want to be in the army because, hey, they're not about to tell me what to do. I ain't joining no Marines. I ain't worrying about no Air Force and no Navy or no Coast Guard. I'm staying right here doing what I want to do.
Yeah, but like, tell me, like, what are like some good things? What kind of made you want to join? Like, how did you get all that set up for yourself?
Okay, so me joining the military was one of those things where I really wanted to travel. I really wanted to network. I really wanted to kind of push myself to the limits. And I felt that the military at that particular time was my best course of action. So I joined the military, learned a lot of things, met a lot of people, got a lot of institutional knowledge, and I'm very excited about that. And I don't regret it. I don't regret it. But the main thing that made me want to join is the fact that, of course, I wanted to put myself in a position where I could provide for my family, and that's exactly what I'm doing.
Amen to that. You have a question? Chris, you kind of got upset with this, what you had to say. He said, "Now this is BS and disrespectful. Memorial Day. Hold on. Memorial Day is for the memories of those who have passed. Hold on 1 second. Those who have passed and died in war and other places. Veteran is for those who served and still alive. Don't get it twisted. People celebrate the military every day. The end. Deuces." So what's your response to that?
Okay, so I don't know if that was just general or what, but let's get it clear. Veterans Day and Memorial Day. Veterans Day celebrate the armed forces personnel that came and that's still alive, that's in the armed forces. You served at some point. Congratulations. Memorial Day is for those people that have passed away. If you notice, if you rewind and you listen to what I said that we do a great job at celebrating Memorial Day when people have made the ultimate sacrifice and given their lives to a cause. However, we don't do a great job at those people who've made a sacrifice and they're still living. So if you want to ordain that to Memorial Day or you want to ordain that to Veterans Day, the fact of the matter is it still deals with veterans. It still deals with saying, guess what? It's veterans out here that's struggling for their benefits. It's veterans out here that's homeless. It's veterans out here that don't have a family to go to because things are not set up accordingly for that particular person. So when you say you get excited, and these are probably one of those people, you say, oh, this is for that and this is for this. The thing about it is 9 times out of 10, either one, they're not veterans. 2, they don't go through the sacrifice or the hardship that veterans go through, and they're not doing anything to support the veterans. So again, like I said, when you talk about Memorial Day, those are for the people that served and have passed. My concept is before we have more veterans that have sacrificed, and they go through hardship and they pass, and now we're celebrating them. We're acknowledging them on Memorial Day. Let's acknowledge them right now. Let's acknowledge that the fact that they need benefits, they need health care, they need a place to stay, they need food. You see what I'm saying? So that's what's important to me right now.
Yeah, I mean, just the same thing when we had this discussion about you said Black Lives Don't Matter. It's like we have to appreciate a veteran. They've been in service 10, 20 years. They've gotten, paid the ultimate sacrifice, and they've seen brothers go in there and didn't come back with them. So, how tough is that on you, or just in general? Seeing somebody you grew up close with and they're not coming back to see their family and loved ones. How tough is that for you?
So I personally knew people who were with me downrange that didn't come back home. Personally. So the topic is definitely something near and dear to my heart. That's why it's so interesting to me to see civilians who've never served. Like these people, they don't even have jobs right now in a serving capacity. You understand what I'm saying? And a lot of people, they just search social media and they troll different people or whatever case may be. What's important to me is that we acknowledge the fact that there are people out here that decided to take that job that you didn't want, especially for the politicians or whatever case, because you know that a lot of politicians, they don't send their sons and daughters across the seas. What they do is they might get a reserve position. They might, just to throw that on their resume, but they're not on the front lines. So my thing about it is when you're at home with your children, when you're watching their first step, you're feeding them, you're getting that quality time, you're going to graduations, hell, you may be even going to funerals, you're getting married, you're going on dates, you're sitting back, you're Netflix and chilling. When you're doing those things, it's somebody sitting on an Iraqi border. It's someone doing an Afghanistan patrol. Hell, it may be someone in Kuwait just wishing they could be home with their newborn. So what I'm saying is, I'm not telling you that veterans should be praised all the time. I'm saying that there's an issue with veteran care. There's an issue with providing benefits. And if you know and come across something that you can help with, then be cognizant and help. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, man, I do agree with you on that. Like I said, just you going out there serving, different places, different destination, except for 20 plus years.
Yes.
So like, what kind of made you like want to end it? Are you still having plans going back, or what's the game plan going forward?
Well, my thought process was to do 20 and done. I mean, I think I know a lot of people. Well, it's a lot of people who couldn't reach retirement. Hey, this military is too much for me. After 5, they gone. After 10, they gone. After 15, they gone. So the fact of the matter is, to reach 20 as an African American officer is huge. Is huge. And what it does, it opens up the door to the next chapter of my life in regards to saying, you know what, man, hey, what are we trying to do? What's the next thing that we're trying to get done or whatever? So again, the military is not for everybody. There's numerous successful people who haven't stepped foot into the military that don't even think about the military when it comes to a job or whatever case may be. But I think tonight, when someone asks the topic is, it says, I don't support veterans and I don't support Memorial Day. If we scroll up and we go to the comment where Chris Rochelle, she said, "Nah, I want to read this again." She says, "Nah, that's bullshit and disrespectful as shit. Memorial Day is for the memory of those who have passed and died in war and other places. Veterans is used for, I guess she says Veterans Day is used for those who served and still alive." And that's why I said those who don't support veterans, so that covers one of her parts, and Memorial Day, right? That covers the other part. So we're still on target in reference to what we're talking about. Period. Those people who don't respect veterans, those people who don't respect whether they're alive or whether they're dead, they don't respect the fact that you served in the military. You don't get kudos. We don't care about your benefits. We don't care if you're in homeless shelters. That is the question. Why don't we care?
Okay, Crystal said, yeah, people were up in arms when folks brought up bringing back the draft. There's a lot of people that do support us. Most want to, but all aren't able. So what's your thoughts about the draft? Like, what is that? Explain to people what it's not all about.
Okay, so first of all, the Korea, they have mandatory military time that you have to do. It's mandatory that you have to go. All males have to go through the military and then go on to whatever institution that they're going to in reference to university or whatever. I don't think joining the military is a bad thing. I think it does provide structure. I think it does kind of get you out of the mom and pop in reference to their household and kind of get you out on your own to kind of govern you a little bit. However, again, I think that the military is not for everybody. That's like saying college is for everybody. College is not for everybody because everybody doesn't require that higher learning. People learn in different ways, and college is not. Some people just need that life experience. So bringing back the draft, do I think it would be beneficial? Well, I think that Planned Parenthood would be beneficial as well. I mean, if you look at, think about if we had these young men, they have to go to do 2 to 3 years in the military. That gets them off the street. So now you don't have the confusion of, well, I'm just selling drugs so I can get money so I can pay the light bill, right? You take that confusion out of there. And now I fill in the blank with something versus nothing. So yeah, I think it would be fine. I don't think that would be hindering anyone in reference to doing a couple years in the military.
Yeah, I mean, are there any places that you wish you would have gone to, or have you been to the majority of places you wanted to be and travel to?
Man, been a lot of places, brother. I've been a lot of places. I think that I never been to Africa. You know, that was always a destination. And I almost jumped on got stationed there. But other than that, man, I think that I kind of hit everywhere I wanted to go. Now it's just, saying just putting those stamps in that passport and just actually going on my own, with my family. So yeah, I think I hit everywhere I wanted to go, mostly.
Oh, well, Kamira said, why are there many veterans that are homeless around the world?
Okay, so I was talking to somebody like this. That's a great question. I was talking, and it's two reasons, right? One is because that, first of all, the mental health of that veteran. The mental health is off. You understand what I'm saying? They did not get the help that they needed. So now they're kind of lost in their mind or whatever. That's one aspect. Another aspect is some people choose to be on the street. Some veterans choose to be on the street. And this is where the common denominator comes in. If there is a shelter that provides clothing, food, shelter, and also some type of job placement, to me, you've done what you needed to do. Also, with that, they also provide something where they are addressing mental health conditions and providing medicine if need be. With that setup right there for veterans across the country, cool, great, thank you. But when my issue is that when you're at the biggest installation for the U.S. Army and you have shelters being closed, absolutely unacceptable, absolutely ridiculous. So my next thing is like, well, what are we doing? What are we doing? Because here's the thing: if you kick me out of a place, and I'm in need of a place to stay, it's cold, it's raining, I'm hungry. What do you think is about to happen? What do you think logically, people, is about to happen? There may be an increase in crime. There may be an increase in squatters. That's people kind of jumping into abandoned buildings or living in cars or behind things or whatever, under things, in things. So now you're about to wake up in the nighttime and hear something rumbling through your garage. And it's not that somebody's trying to rob you. It's that, hey, guess what? I need a place to stay. There is no shelter. So I just think that the concern for veterans, I think that, is there some type of rumble in reference to trying to make sure veterans are taken care of? Of course it is some type of rumble. But at the end of the day, some things are just unacceptable. And when you have a zero tolerance for something like that, no, you will not close a shelter with veterans in it. That makes no sense. That makes no sense. There is no reason we can't find the money. There's no reason. There's no excuse. Talk to me, man.
All right. Simpson said the problem is not joining the military, but the problem may well be when you choose to join depending on who is your commander in chief at the time.
Okay, so here's the thing. You're not going to always agree with the person in charge. Okay. And what kind of gets me is a lot, you know what I'm saying? I don't agree with everything that Donald Trump, did when I was in the military. However, the issue is that you might not agree with everybody, the Walmart supervisor. Huh? You might not agree with goddamn the post office supervisor. You might not agree with the doctor that's the supervisor. So there's always going to be somebody in charge unless you're your own boss. Shout out to all the entrepreneurs and business owners out there. But if you're not your own boss and working for your own company, then the fact of the matter is you're always going to have somebody above you telling you something that you ain't going to like. So to say that I'm not going to join the military and get these benefits, how many people say I'm chasing that bag, right? Or do something to say, while I'm chasing that bag, get these benefits and also serve my country, check, check, check. To say I'm not going to do it because there's a black dude in office. I'm not going to do it because there's a white dude in office. Because at the end of the day, you got to think about it. The president is a figurehead. The president doesn't make all the decisions. The president is a figurehead. The president does not make all of the decisions alone. That's why he has a cabinet. That's why we have a Senate and a Congress. He does not make all the decisions alone. So to say I'm not joining the military because of one person, okay.
Yeah, I think that has to come from within. That's something you really feel like doing. I feel like a lot of young men, they give them the structure to go out there, do something new, get them off the street, or it gives them from, just working at a fast food restaurant, you actually get, some benefits. And, I think it's good as far as just getting that structure. A lot of our young men, they kind of needed that, especially they didn't really grow up with that much of a father figure, that kind of discipline.
Great point, JC. Great point. Ladies and gentlemen, my first duty station was Hawaii. My first duty station, a kid from the streets, right? A kid from the hood, was Hawaii. So imagine the culture shock for me to see people walking around on the beach, Hawaiian shirts, doing the luau thing, aloha. I'm like, oh, don't put that goddamn fly on me. Just imagine that. So imagine how your son or daughter would feel not being in your household, actually doing something for themselves in another part of another state and just doing big things. Saying, hey, mom, I saved up a couple dollars. I'm sending a ticket for you to come over here to Hawaii. Or, hey, dad, or hey, cousin or sister or brother. The thing about it is we've grown accustomed to not allowing ourselves to grow, not allowing ourselves to blossom. If somebody tells us it's bad, then that's what we believe. We don't check it out for ourselves. Now, do the military has its issues? You damn right it has its issues. But you can't say that it has so many issues that I'm just not going to deal with the military. But you would rather deal with working in a factory making what? Working at Subway doing what? So no, listen, some people go to college, get these massive degrees, right? That's what we do, right? We get these massive, elaborate degrees so that way we got these initials on our shit. Yeah. And don't even work in the field that we got our shit in. Huh? But here's the thing. Now you got all these goddamn student loans. Uh-oh. Now you got all these student loans. So, go to the military 2 to 3 years, become a veteran, get some benefits, maybe pay for some school, then go on about my business. I think it's worth it. I think it's worth it. I think it's worth it.
Yeah. I mean, I feel you. Like I said, that's the person's choice. But like I said, you gotta have some kind of game plan. You know, if it's not a military or college, some kind of trade school, learn trade. You know, I just hate that the fact that they try to indoctrinate. You know, you're going to college, the 4 years, this 4 year degree is supposed to make sure that you're qualified to work everywhere. But a lot of times, a lot of people got associate master. They working at Walmart, Best Buy, Kroger. You know, so it's like, you know, is it really worth it? You know.
So Mr. McLean says, just because you're a business owner doesn't mean you don't have somebody to answer to. Okay, I think here's the thing. The obvious thing is the fact that if I own my own business, okay, who the hell am I answering to? I mean, come on. I mean, let's be real. Who am I answering to besides the IRS? Who am I answering to? I'm making my own hours. If I got employees that I'm paying them, correct? Whether it's commission, whatever service or goods that I'm giving out or providing, I control all that. You know what I'm saying? Based on the feedback that I'm getting from my customers, based on how I have things broken down quarterly and what I need to, yeah, okay, the IRS. When you say the government, we talking about really the IRS, because that's really who's gonna take your shit if you don't pay what you need to pay in reference to taxes and doing what you need to do or whatever. So we in the same accord. I thought we was kind of talking about, when I'm talking about an immediate supervisor, that means somebody you have to talk to every day. So if you, let's just say JC our boss and we don't like JC and we got to deal with JC in the building every day. You know what I'm saying? But I understand the government, the IRS, I get that. Definitely. I just want to make sure we're on the same page, hopefully. Yeah, I get it. We definitely get the government. We get that. If you're a business owner, entrepreneur, we get the government, IRS, we get that. We definitely get that.
All right. Simpson said, no disrespect, but what we're talking about is the possible justification of taking of lives by the commander in chief, who was a fucking madam.
Huh? What?
It was
Which one?
it was Simpson's comment. He said, no disrespect, but what we're talking about is the possible justification of taking the lives by the commander in chief, who was a fucking madman.
Okay, so here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't join the military under Donald Trump's era. I was already in the military. I was actually, phasing in retirement out. So again, there are some things where we as retirees and those who are active now, they don't always agree with their commander in chief, but what they can't do is get online and talk about that. Now, if you're privy to them in reference to their personal life and you guys get to talk about that, then you talk about that. So that's, there are rules against that. But again, you're not going to be sitting in Walmart talking about the supervisor, in front of everybody and thinking that that's not going to get back to him or her, and they're going to correct you or have something to say about it. So, I mean, you got to take the good with the bad. If it's for you, then it's for you. If it's not, then it's not. But I just feel like, there's a lot of things going on with veterans, those who have served the Air Force, the Marines, the Coast Guard, the Navy, Army. I just feel like there's a lot of stuff going on and things are getting swept in the rug. It's people fighting for their benefits, y'all. It's people fighting for their benefits. It's people homeless and they're outside of military installations. And my thing to you guys is, do you know of any cases like that? And two, what's being done in your local area to prevent that?
All right, Joe said, why when I mentioned the military last time, it was condemned as a sin?
I don't know who condemned her as a sin. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know about all that.
Shout out to my brother Morris Smith in the building. Greg said he was a Marine. Shout out to my little brother Boogie. He's a Marine as well.
All right, yeah, welcome. Thank you for your service, man. Omega said, what else did anyone come up with some ideas of what we're doing for the homeless?
Okay, so here's what I wanted to pitch to you guys. I really feel like, if the installations grab on to one of those shelters and they just basically form a detail, just like we have a detail for disaster relief for anything else. Of course we get not Katrina, I'm sorry. Of course we get FEMA involved when it comes to disaster relief, but I really feel like it would not be difficult for us or for the military to actually activate some type of task force to go and support that shelter to say, okay, well, we're going to feed you, we're going to clothe you, we're going to train you in regards to learning a skill or finding out what skill sets are available. Hey, we're going to teach you how to be carpenters. We're going to teach you how to be, maybe we do some IT stuff. Maybe we even do, some cook stuff. We're going to put you in positions to be successful. But for some reason, the correlation between the military and these shelters is separated. And I don't understand how it's separated if you have veterans that need a place to stay. How many times have you been in a city and you've seen homeless people and their sign says, veteran will work for food? Ridiculous.
Yeah.
But you can't be Army strong if you have veterans working for food. Support your own. You have an NCO creed, a soldier's creed, a warrant officer creed, an officer, all these creeds. At the end of the day, what does it mean if you're letting your fellow veteran fall to the wayside? So that's why I'm saying, me as a veteran, me as a retiree, you damn right I'm gonna speak up about it. You damn right I'm gonna let people know, hey, something needs to be done. So if you know someone in a position to do something, it's best you talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes some veterans, y'all do get hard discounts, restaurants and stuff, but it's just really just saying how we really don't treat a veteran with a lot of respect, you're talking about y'all begging for food, begging for shelter. That should just be automatic, really, especially if you put your time in, dedicate your life, give enough time with your friends, your family. So, I mean, y'all should be treated a lot better and have
I'm not
more
I'm not
appreciation.
saying, I'm gonna make sure I'm clear on this because I don't want anybody to say some shit that's gonna turn this live into really get lit, right? I'm not saying that veterans should be babied. I'm not saying that veterans should be given things, free this and in front of the line and this. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that if your ass never went to Iraq, you've never went to Afghanistan, you've never had goddamn mortars coming across your head, you've never been blown up in ID, you never had shit, somebody get shot in front of your damn face. If you've never been in a war time situation, you've never dealt with an index of 127 degrees, you never had to walk and get blisters on your damn feet and back aches and whatever case it be, have goddamn rounds going off and your ears start ringing and you thinking, you paranoid because you got PTSD. If you've never been in a situation like that, then you wouldn't understand the mental capacity that it takes for someone to need somebody to talk to. Maybe some meds, maybe somewhere where they could go to kind of get their thought process together. But these people come back and they come back to you guys. They come back to us. And here's the thing, now they're in the home. Now every time you drop a spoon, they freaking out. They hear a loud noise, they freaking out. Or they're quick tempered. They can't hold a relationship. They can't hold a job. These people are messed up. They're messed up. And here's the thing. The best thing they do is wallow on out under those bridges. Is wallow on out behind those stores, eating out of trash cans and all this other bullshit. So a lot of people talk about a situation and they don't realize how in depth and how things are going on. Matter of fact, I got my big sis on here, Omega, you know what I'm saying? She does a lot to help veterans. You understand? And I'm sure she would have stories out the yin yang in reference to how many veterans she has to help and their disabilities and what they have to do in reference to her trying to help people claim their disabilities. So I just think that we take for granted the mental health situation when it comes to veterans.
Yeah, Susan said VA has been have great benefits in my area, housing and care, but not so much mental.
I think it's excellent. Shout out to those people that's doing big things in reference to the support of veterans in your area. I just say that, the Killeen area, Killeen, Texas, for that shelter to close under any circumstances is absolutely unacceptable. Absolutely unacceptable. And the general of that post, the commanding general of that post, should be contacted and asked what the hell is going on. What is going on? Because if it's we are not allowed to leave any fallen comrades. That's why I said Memorial Day is to celebrate soldiers, airmen, Marines, Coast Guard, sailors, right? That have given the ultimate sacrifice, that have came and went. Okay, so we're gonna do some parades, right? We're gonna wave some flags, we're gonna shed a couple tears. But what about the people that's given a sacrifice and that's damn near on their deathbed right now? When do we care about them? Do we wait till Veterans Day? Is that when it's important? People kill me because they drive by these veterans standing on the corner. Come on now. People need assistance and mental health. And I'm not just talking about this is a black thing, but mental health is huge. It's huge. You can't keep no job if you damn paranoid. You can't keep no relationship if you're suffering from goddamn closeness issues. You're not going to be able to teach your children or be around shit. You might not be able to be around a dog that's barking. And I understand our society does not allow us to show that we care, because everything is the hustle and bustle of us making it as individuals, and no one cares about anyone else. And I'm just saying to the other veterans, what happens when they stop your benefits? Is that when you speak up? Talk to me, JC.
He had a question. He said we got people that never work or serve. They get free everything. So a baby or handout to veteran is BS. Those vets doing well at all, but if you don't make you better, anyone could have been homeless. Consider yourself blessed if you've never been.
Definitely. Definitely. And this is not a shot to people that never served in the military. I'm just saying that we tend to speak on things. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, man. I've definitely been on some convoys that man, before the convoy we praying and we just hoping to God that we make it. That's some scary shit. That is some scary shit. So when I come back to the United States of America and I sit and I listen to people complain about not being able to find a job or just the mediocre things that they complain about, it shocks me. It shocks me. And then they say things like, well, veterans shouldn't have to, get 10% off. I'm an American citizen. It's like, okay, cool. I mean, here's the thing. You leave your family for 6 months to a year, some 18 months. You endure some of the most terrifying, horrific shit ever, right? You come home and get 10% discounts in the mall. You get 1 day for the people that's alive to say, good job, veterans. You get another day for the people that's dead that says, oh, we missed you, veterans. And that's worth it. That's worth all of the damn first steps, all of the first words, all the relationships, all the divorces, all of the goddamn missed special moments that you received over that year time frame. That 10% discount is worth it. Somebody talk to me, man.
Yeah, like I said, that probably like my biggest appreciation I have for vets that do have been out there for a minute, 6 months, a year, 2 years. I'm able to relish those special moments with the time, the wife, the kids. So, like I said, it is a true sacrifice. And like I said, y'all do need to be applauded daily. Not just on Veterans Day or Memorial Day, every day. Y'all need to be applauded and appreciated.
But I think you hit the nail on the head. The thing about it is, I think somebody just said the government. Greg is back on the government thing. So here's the thing. My thing is this. It is not up to the American citizens to change the 1 day a year for Veterans Day and 1 day a year for Memorial Day. No, it's up to the government. When you set those benefits in place and say, hey, if you serve, once you get out, we're gonna make sure you got this in place. It's hell, it's some people who serve, and for some reason, when they get out, they don't have the benefits that they're supposed to have. They don't have the benefits. So my thing about it is, what happens when you served in war, you've been down range, and you've been a part of a team that your job was to seek and destroy. Your job was to seek and destroy. That's what you know. What happens when you come back home and you don't get the benefits that you're supposed to get? What do you think is about to happen? What do you think is about to happen?
All hell about to break loose.
All hell is about to break loose.
Yeah.
All hell, but it's about to break loose with somebody who's now mentally challenged in the head, but trained to do the shit. Trained to go the mile, go the distance, make bombs, use knives, use guns, hand-to-hand combat. Veterans need support. Don't turn your back on it. If you see a post about something about a veteran or getting them some benefits or whatever, check the block and share the shit. Because what you're doing is preventing someone running up in a movie theater with a fucking bomb and blowing it up. What you're preventing is someone having road rage because they're blacking out because they're hearing people honk the horn and driving into the back of you and you going off the road. People don't think about the second and third effects. They only think about what's in front of them, and that's the problem. The issue is what's in front of them could be big.
Yeah. Hey, you're right about that. You know, like I said, the bombs and terrorist threats. That's what happens when, you know, we're not being appreciated. You know, it shouldn't happen, but you know, a lot of people are losing their lives over just pettiness. So we just gotta do a better job. You know, showing support to all of our veterans out there. All right,
Somebody,
Joe
okay, so
said,
Omega said, seek and destroy with the mean face. Morris says, hey, don't tell them all that shit. So here's the thing, man. Everybody that's in the military is not in a combat situation. Some people stay and they go to these places where they don't see any action. I'm saying that you have a lot, okay, a minority of soldiers, airmen, Marines, and Coast Guard people who actually see action. And what I'm saying is you don't want those people coming back to the United States of America and they're not getting any assistance because you don't know. How many Vietnam veterans do we have right now that's on the street right now that when you see them, it look like they talking to themselves or whatever, but ain't nobody there? They happy one minute, next minute they screaming and they hollering or whatever. You see these things. You see that paranoia or whatever. Matter of fact, have you ever, because I have you ever been driving down the street or whatever and somebody a dart across the street? But it's not a dart across the street like, well, let me get to the other side. It's like, oh, well, let me play dodge the damn car. So you don't know what people's mental capacity is. So this is not to say, oh God, he's saying veterans are going crazy. No, I'm saying that there are issues that need to be addressed with veterans, and sometimes it goes ignored, i.e. the shelter that's being closed outside of Fort Hood. We'll get to it when we get to it. How we ain't got the money for it? How we ain't got the money for it? I don't understand that. Where's the outcry? Where's the people going Facebook Live? Where's the club owners, the bike clubs, the damn car clubs, the entrepreneurs, the business owners, where are the people talking about this situation, doing something about it, that call themselves community leaders? This is the time right now to do something. I'm not saying, oh well, let me do a couple of donations, 3 weeks ago. I'm talking about now. What are we doing right now? How are we trying to promote this right now? And the issue is that we only promote things when people are looking. People don't want to do things behind the scene. They want to make sure people see them.
yeah. Yeah, like I said, it's just sad. You got to make sure that they got a good safe haven. Especially like guys in the NFL owners, they need to be stepping up. Guys that got the big checks, billionaires like Jerry Jones and stuff. You know, what's wrong with helping out the veterans?
Which is so funny is that you'll great point, man. Good point, JC. Goddamn. Which is funny, you'll pay a NFL player, an NBA player, millions of dollars. Ladies and gentlemen, I want y'all to stay with me because he going somewhere. You'll play an NBA player, NFL player, millions of dollars, but for some reason you can't find enough money to keep a shelter open. Moment of silence. Does that not blow your mind? Now, here's the thing. Let's say not even for veterans. Let's say a shelter for women and children, for battered women and children. So, okay, well, we're going to close this shelter. Okay, hey, a shelter is a shelter. Now we're going to close this shelter. Okay, now we're just going to close shelters, period. But we're paying people who can dribble a basketball, people who can run a football, people who can golf. We're paying these people millions of dollars to play a sport. Well, my thing about it is, goddamn, you don't think the military is a sport of life? I've never seen, well, of course you can die from these sports or whatever case may be, but that's a small margin. But those people who go to Iraq and Afghanistan, you can damn sure bet that risk of danger increases for what, 10% at the mall? More say they don't care. Huh? I mean, y'all tell me. I literally had a lady take advantage of a 10% discount, I think, when she was eating for Veterans Day or something. And there was literally somebody in there complaining because she got a discount on her meal because she was a veteran. Now, I'm a veteran too, right? And I ain't used my card yet, but I was sitting there listening, and I'm just like, she's literally complaining because she's going to get 10% discount on some damn buffalo wings. Crazy. But nobody complain about LeBron James getting millions of dollars. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, but there are some athletes that do donate in the off season. They do get back to different charities and events. So they do.
I,
There are
I'm
some.
not. I'm not saying that the NBA players and the NFL players they don't do great things with their money, and I'm not trying to
Yeah,
count their chips. What I'm saying is the money is available. That's what I'm saying.
yeah.
Okay, even the people on the benches are getting thousands of dollars, so you can't tell me that $200,000 can't be used. I don't care what NBA or NFL team you reached out to. You mean to tell me you can't get $200,000? Where all of these community leaders, the Dr. Umar Johnsons, the goddamn Jesse Jacksons, where they at?
Oh, what's his
And,
name?
and
Umar Johnson. Yeah. No,
but
Boyce Walton.
the fact of the matter is, before we get to those people, why do we have a military installation that would allow this to close and it supports veterans? Makes no sense. It makes no sense. And that's what I'm trying to tell you. I'm not putting the onus on NFL, the onus on the NBA. I'm putting the onus back on the government, the responsibility back on the government. And I think it's like my brother Morris said, they don't care. Because if you care, what's the problem? We deal, those logical thinkers, they deal in a premise of problem and solution. There's no gray area. Problem and solution. The problem is you have a shelter closing. What's the solution? We can't afford to have these veterans out there on the street. We can't afford for them not to be getting benefits. We can't afford for them not to have mental health, a place to go get mental health in their medicine, or to be able to sleep. A good night's sleep will help a lot. And I think that people don't realize the summertime is approaching, and that heat is going to add to some shit.
Yeah, Dee said the same people that are saving babies from abortion are the same ones sending us overseas to kill people. then bring us back home to tell us that certain benefits are no longer available to us. If my wife wasn't a social worker at the VA, I wouldn't have known about these hidden money and benefits that we are not told about.
I can tell you this, man. You have to do your research, and it's a shame because here's the thing, y'all. When you want to go to the movies, all you got to do is Google, right? Movies near me. And you get this esteemed list of movie theaters with the movie times, the dates, right? The locations and all that good stuff. We have to simplify the process. We have to learn how to simplify the process and get these veterans what they need. Hell, I was on the verge of retirement, and there were certain things I didn't even know. Certain things I didn't find out until after I retired, being a warrant officer in the military. So it's like, well, why do I have to go ask the question, why is the information just not given to me? I feel like the information should just be given to me. Hey, here you go. Put it in the book. I'll read it. But the fact of the fact of the matter is, I feel like, a lot of veterans, they get kind of, if you know about it or you know somebody, then you can get the hookup. But if you don't, then you don't get your benefits. Because there's no reason for this person right here, oh, well, I got ringing in both ears. Well, I didn't know I needed to ask. I asked about ringing in both ears. I didn't know I needed to say bilateral. You understand what I'm saying? So my thing about it is, who is teaching you how to be successful in your transition? Or are you just transitioning? Then once you transition, okay, well, who is making sure that you stay up to date and up to par with your life, your lifestyle, your mental health? Some people would say, hey, it's not the government's responsibility to continue to take care of you. Some people would say that.
Greg said, you guys have me missing the game.
Hey, you better put that thing on TiVo and record it.
Yeah. Tevin said, what is meant that a soldier's life is not worth the damn dying to the very government that he is willing to give his life for? Yeah.
I believe that, soldiers at some point could be seen as expendable. Yeah, definitely. I believe that soldiers are replaced, removed. I believe all that. I've seen it. But I also believe that that's why it's so important that when a person is having an issue, whether in the military or out of the military as a veteran, when they speak up, people should listen. You understand what I'm saying? People should listen. I talked about racism in the military. I talked about a lot of issues that was happening in the military that I seen from my level, that a lot of people was just like, wow, he's talking about that? He's speaking out loud about that? Yeah, definitely. So, but when you have civilians that say, I care about what's going on. The thing about it is Fort Hood, the Army installation, Fort Hood pumps a lot of money into the Killeen area. Facts. One of the major networks in regards to providing streams and sources of income. My thing would be is, why is it that it's so difficult to keep a shelter open that supports vets? And then where's the outcry? Where's the outrage? And I'm so disappointed because certain people that I see on my timeline, they're not talking about that. They're not talking about that, but they consider themselves to be community leaders. They're not talking about that, but they're saying, I'm a business owner. They're not talking about this, but I'm a club promoter. And it's so crazy to me because when it comes to actually doing something that supports people for the betterment of not only Black people, but for people in general, we don't do anything like that. We do a lot of things that's demeaning and degrading and exposing and all the other stuff. That's when we rally behind it. But when it's time to help people, you have one or two people trying to help the situation. Interesting.
Yeah, people just say, it's not my job, not my position. That's your own fault. That's your own battle you're going with. It's not my fault. So, Girl, said I actually have a personal friend that works in a local VA. He keeps me informed of the hidden benefits. Okay. Joe
I
said,
mean, go ahead.
Joe said, forget that Trump getting wealthy out the office. Why can't he put up money? He could have called it Trump Shelter Towers.
I'm
What's your
trying to
take on
find
it?
what you were talking. Say what you just said
No,
again. I was trying to find it.
no, Joe said, forget that Trump getting wealthy off the office. Why can't he put up
Oh.
money? He could have called it Trump Shelter Towers.
Um. So again, I hear your point. I get your point, and I understand it. My thing about it is that when you have a community of people, and I say a community, that means I'm talking every damn body, right? The masses. And their concern is everybody, let's imagine 100 people in your community go live on social media and they talk about this instance and they start tagging their family and friends. They tag senators they know, right? Governors they know, mayors they know, business owners they know. And they saying, hey, how can we get this thing fixed? Hey, how much do you need? Let us raise this money. That's community power. That's community power. That shows that these people in this community, they're about something. They're about something. They stand for something. But when you allow people who need your help to fall to the wayside and turn a blind eye, that says something about your community. Let's go even deeper because the majority of people that's in these shelters, they're not Caucasian people. Uh-oh. So when we start going back to that Black Lives Matter in the Black community, you ask yourself, well, damn, how is a veteran shelter or a veteran or shelter for veterans closing, right, with all of these Black people in it, and ain't nothing happening? Ain't nobody trying to fix it. Something to think about, bro. Something to think about.
Yeah, like I said, the stuff that was really need to be keyed in on. We just really you talk to the wayside, but we can sit here remote Gucci, somebody, music, lyrics, Gucci man, but come down to supporting lyrics and supporting the veterans, those that have died for our country. We don't want to support them, put on the front line. We want to sit there talk about Jordans and rap music and stuff. So it's just our priorities are all messed up once again.
So, Miss Ann says Cory Booker will be here tomorrow, and I am going to see him. What do you suggest that I ask him about veterans? First of all, thank you for saying that. Second of all, ask him how the hell an installation surrounding a shelter does not take control of that shelter if there's veterans in it. Why don't they support that shelter? There are numerous soldiers doing numerous things. Ladies and gentlemen, you'll see soldiers picking up trash. You'll see soldiers mopping floors. You'll see soldiers doing some of the most janitorial shit ever. So you mean to tell me they can't go feed the homeless? They can't go clean up a building. They can't build a wall. They can't do lights. Anything that needs to be provided for a shelter, I can almost guarantee that the resources are on the installation that's nearest to it. To me, it's unacceptable. To me, it's unacceptable, and to me, it's disrespectful. And for every veteran in the local vicinity of this shelter that hears this situation, that doesn't say, I need to take up arms and do something about it, it speaks volumes about you. Volumes. It's one thing to not know, but it's a whole nother thing to just turn a blind eye and say, oh, well, that's not my fight. But them cutting off benefits to a shelter, what's to stop them from cutting off benefits to you? Because the people that's governing this money to go towards X, Y, and Z, they're not affected by this money coming to you. You see what I'm saying? They're getting their money from another pot of money or just taking their shit off the top from you. Be mindful of what you turn the blind eye to.
Yeah. You got anything else to say, man?
Man, hey, listen, I appreciate the platform, brother. Definitely the time. Hopefully, more veterans are able to hear this. I actually did a video earlier today speaking about this same topic, so or elaborating more about this topic or whatever. So if you guys get a chance and opportunity, please check that out. Again, support my brother JC, Everyday Thoughts on YouTube. So y'all make sure y'all check him out. If you get an opportunity, check me out, Mario Cochran. There's a lot of great things going on that's coming up, that's getting ready to happen in the near future. Make sure y'all, y'all stay tracking the brother. JC, I appreciate it, man. Enjoy your weekend, bro. Enjoy your night.
All right, man. Appreciate you joining me tonight.
Peace.
Thank everybody for tuning in. Make sure y'all share this video. Make sure y'all check them out on Instagram, YouTube, etc. Anybody that want to join me for debate discussion, let me know. And I'll pencil in. So, like I said, thank everybody for tuning in. I love everybody. Peace.